In this episode, you're going to learn why so many people are in conflict right now, and you're going to learn what really matters in this life. So stick around. I'm Adam Kadu, and it's time to master the art of real heart alignment, where you live, work, and play from your personal power as energy aligns, your gifts flow, and life simply works. These life-changing conversations are designed to help you to see what you're not seeing, hear what you're not hearing, and to be who you're not being, as the world needs more heart-centered leaders now more than ever. Are you ready to say no to living a half-hearted life and say yes instead to boldly living from a place of real heart alignment? Welcome to the Adam Kadu Podcast. Yo, welcome back to the Adam Kadu Podcast. So if you listen to episode 001, then at this standpoint, you know that we're not messing around. This is a different podcast with a new, unique spin to it, where we're talking about the things that nobody else is talking about in a way that no one else is saying it. Because look, the closer we can get to this place of trusting ourselves and knowing, and this inner nudge, this feeling as anything and everything is possible, working from there, everything and anything is possible. But it takes a radically different approach to get there. Because look, if you're crushing it in your business right now, chances are there's some standpoint in time to where you had a radically new experience. And if you're still struggling, if you're doing the same things that everyone else is doing, if you're pushing, you're going, you're doing it, you're following the checklists and the blueprints, you're taking all the courses, the IG Reels courses and the Instagram story selling courses and all this stuff, and you're still not gaining momentum, you're still not anywhere closer to feeling like you're in alignment, then it's time to mix it up. And in this conversation today, we are talking about experience versus reality. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit, not about worldly things, because look, you can turn on a TV, you can get on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you can see all the highlights of all the stuff going on in the world right now. But what you'll find is what's going on in the world right now, that is not reality. I'm going to say that again. What's going on in the world right now is not reality. In order for that to be full on reality, then there must be a consensus to where we all agree that this is reality. But there's so much conflict. There's so many different viewpoints and new perspectives. And each individual out there has their own right to say this is reality. People are crazy because they're getting the vaccinations. People are crazy because they're not getting the vaccinations. That all comes down to your own personal perspective. So there actually is no reality. And there's been studies done. There's been, like robbings in a public place. Like somebody will run up and grab somebody's purse and they'll interview all the people that saw it. And there's so many varying stories that people swear this is really what happened. This is real. This is reality. Another person is saying, no, that's actually what happened. She dropped it first. Another person is saying, no, he just grabbed it out of her arms. It's skewed. And when you start to see that this whole reality, what people are saying, and I have a mentor, Don Javier, who is a shaman. He has said that if you listen to other people's perceptions, that's not perception, that's distortion. If you take in what everyone else is saying, the news and your friends and the families and everything else, and choosing to see it as your own reality, it's distortion. It's not real. It's just a whole bunch of information that's coming into you. You are the one who interprets that information. You are the one who makes sense of it, and to where you put it into a nice and neat puzzle to where it fits. You create your own quote unquote reality. But here's the thing, we're so wrapped up in what's going on in the world. There's so much fear and insecurity and uncertainty. I'm here to say, if you look at the track record of the world, there's always been uncertainty. So it's just another day. That's my reality. That's my perspective. It's another day. But here's the deal. In order to distinguish what is real versus what everyone else is experiencing is fully what you are experiencing, right? And this does not necessarily come down to the interpretations, the perspectives, the thoughts, the beliefs, the meanings, but it comes into how you filter information into your world. And as soon as we have an experience, we have physical sensations, we hear, we use our senses, right? We see things, however the experience happened for you. But here's the thing. As soon as you start talking about your experience, it's no longer an experience. You are talking about a concept, something that happened. It's no longer an experience. Even if I was to sit here and say, I have this feeling in my heart right now. I'm really, what's happening is I'm talking about the feeling that I had in my heart just a second ago that I was getting ready to explain it to you. We're always talking about that past moment. And I know this, you guys, we're going to go a little bit deep on this conversation. And so what I want to get is when you can start working from a place of powerful presence, of being here now. And we've all heard it, right? We've read the book, The Power of Now. We see the quotes on Instagram. We see it all, right? But let me ask you, and be honest here. What amount of time do you spend outside of the scope of now? Most people are going to say, I don't know, like 80%. It's a lot. I would dare to say it's 99.9999999%. The only time that you are not in the past or future is when you're in flow, when you're fully present. Even when you're meditating, for the most part, there's a lot of in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You're not fully present. And people meditate for 10 minutes a day, and then the rest of the day, they're in their crap all day. The point is not to meditate for 10 minutes. The point is to get into a meditative state and to stay and live from that meditative state. Because when we have all of our realities that are predicating our actions, that's going to be so freaking limited because we're always pulling from either past experiences or the limitations of the future. And here's the thing. We all have what is known as a default future. We are living into our default future, which is the way that we see the way things are happening. And if you see the world as a crazy place and uncertainty, and I don't know, and I'm doing my business, but things aren't working out, we're always thinking about the past launch that didn't work well. You are living into the same future. That's your default future. And it takes something radical. It takes something unextraordinary for you to shift out into a new reality, into a new default future. And yes, it can happen, but there's no amount of thinking that's going to get you there. There's no amount of doing that's going to get you there. It's going to take you totally rewriting how you live, how you show up, who you're being. And to do so, yet again, my mentor, Don Javier, it's a beautiful quote. It says, if you want to change the world, you must first change yourself. In order to change yourself, you must stop your world. And when you stop your world, you can change yourself. And when you change yourself, you change the world. So it's time in our time together to stop your world, to start looking at life differently, not from this is the way it is. My significant other, this is the way she is. My business partners is the way she is. The people I work with are the way they are. If you see it as that, then that's your reality. That's what you're living into. That's your default future. But it does not have to be that way. You can choose again. And one of the things that I talk to my students about in my Heart-Centered Selling Mastery program is working from a place of personal power. And now when I say personal power, this is not just being brash and bold and all this stuff, but it's being hyper intentional. It's working from your inner strength. And it's also working from a powerful place of choice. Choosing how you show up, choosing how you feel, choosing how to interpret the events of this world. And choice is power. You came here in choice. It's not life is a choice. Life is choice. It's all there is. You chose to be here. I know that's deep. You chose to be here. My son, my 18-month-old little boy, he chose to be here. At this time, he chose us as his parents. And I thank him often for that. I tell him a lot, thank you for choosing us. Thank you for being here with us. And that little man, you know, I share a lot of behind the scenes with him on Instagram, but I'm telling you, with teething and, you know, just, you know, changing routines and things like that, he's cute on Instagram. He's cute. He's cute. But there's trying times, right? There's growth with this little guy. He's helped me grow more than I would ever realize in a million years. He's helped me grow. But he chose to be here, and I honor his choice. And here's the thing as well. When you start to really wake up to see what you're not seeing, to do what you're not doing, to be who you're not being, things change. Because your brain, and we'll just get into a little bit of brain science. Your brain, for one thing, as you know, it's designed to keep you safe and stuck. It's designed to keep you doing the same crap you're always doing. So no wonder you're living into the default future. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and stuck. Your brain, let's say your subconscious will follow along and stay in congruency with what you tell it, with your thoughts. And so if you're and I know you've heard this, but just slow down to think, really think about this. Not even think about it analytically, but be with this. Experience this. Even the quiet thoughts that aren't just the big thoughts that are drawing your attention, even the quiet thoughts, they're writing your future for you. You're on autopilot. Most people are. I get on autopilot too. And your subconscious will do whatever it needs to do to stay in congruency with your dominating thoughts, with your dominating feelings, with your dominating emotions, with your dominating way of being. It's going to stay in congruency. It's going to follow along. And it's so easy. It's like there's this analogy of a mouse, right? It's in the little maze, and the scientist puts the little cheese in maze number 4, right? So the mice found the cheese. The mouse found the cheese. So then it comes to expect, oh, it's probably here, it's probably here, probably here, right? And it's right. Then all of a sudden, the scientist moves the cheese. So it goes down lane number 4 again, lane number 4, lane number 4. It's like, where's my cheese, right? And us humans, we do the same thing. We're like chasing things. If I just do this, 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 then I'll get the cheese. The only difference between the mouse and the human is the human will go down that lane infinite. It will continue on going down that lane, thinking that if I just keep doing this, things will work out. The cheese will be there. The cheese is gone. The cheese is moved. The mouse is smart. The mouse is like, I'm moving on. It's not here. I'm going to go find it elsewhere. Humans will bang our head against the wall doing the same thing because we're staying in congruency. We're fitting in. We're doing what everybody else is doing. Herd mentality. But not you, not me, not while we're here together, not while you're on this podcast with me. And so pay attention. What are the inner thoughts that are the inner thoughts? Because the mind is crafty. It can distract you. It can throw up some stuff and you're chasing one tail while there's another tail right next to you. That's really the tail. That's the real tail. Talking about reality, right? It's kind of like, what's the question under the question? Sometimes in coaching, people ask me a question. I'm like, hey, what is it here? What's the real question? We love smoke screens. We love distractions. We love getting into self-sabotage. And so let's break it down back to reality versus experience. When you can start to live from this experience, and here's the thing too. For the longest time, I used to try to remember everything. Like I remembered a lot about my childhood, about teenage years, about conversations. It was like a safety mechanism for me to remember everything. Then I got to a standpoint, I was like, what's this serving me? Like, it's not like I'm going to figure out the great grand mystery and put all the pieces of the puzzle together and be like, I conquered life. I remembered it all and I put it all together. Because that's not what life's about. This is not a puzzle to be solved. Life is about experience. And look, not asking you to believe a word I say. I'm asking you to put the jacket on, to give it a try. To start experiencing the richness of life. Walking down the street, instead of thinking, take in all the trees. All the trees. Listen to all the sounds, the dogs, the birds, the cars going by. Listen to it all, take it all in, see it all, sense it all, feel it all, smell it all, and experience life. And I promise you, when you get pulled into this moment collapses. And I used to do work with my clients on this as well. I would actually go back in time and fully experience past moments, and they would no longer influence me. I would collapse them. Because once you fully experience something, it collapses. You no longer have to carry it around as baggage. That does not mean go back and think. There's an art to it. Getting yourself in your safe space, let's just say. Going back in a moment and experiencing that. Fully experiencing it. What are the sensations? Where was that in your body? What did you feel? What was the size of the feeling? What was the color of the feeling? What was the emotion behind it? And being fully present in that experience collapses. So that way you can become more and more present. Because I'm telling you, when you can become present, when you can live in a place of powerful presence, you're the creator. You are the cause of the effect. You're no longer at the mercy of the world. Yes, there's still lively stuff that goes on. I'm not sitting here trying to paint a rainbow with a unicorn and a pot of gold at the end of it. Life is still going to life sometimes. But you can be the cause. You can be responsible. You can have choice. You can have freedom in that moment. Most people chase freedom. I'm working to a day that I can be free. Sounds ridiculous. Be free now. So every moment that you're working, you can be free. Even if you're at a job you hate. The way to freedom is to choose freedom now. If that's your experience versus thinking the reality is once I'm out of this job, then I'm free, that's not the way. Be here now. Experience this. Slow down. Take it in. That's what life's about. Be here with people. I mean, when I connect with my little man, I get to look in his eyes. When I connect with my wife, get to look deep in her eyes. That's experience. And when I'm full of experience, when I show up in my business, I'm bringing experience with me. I'm living from experience. Yes, learn from others. Shortcut your learning to where you don't have to make all the mistakes people like myself did. I made a lot of mistakes early on as an entrepreneur. And now the game for me is to trust myself. Trust myself, trust the energy that's moving through me, get the hell out of the way, let go more and more, and to experience the richness of life. That's the only thing I'm taking with me. I'm not taking a car and a computer and a cell phone and a camera. I'm not taking people with me. I'm taking experience. I'm taking energy. That's what we're taking. So why not live that now? Okay, I know this was a deeper conversation, but I told you from the very get-go, we're having some different conversations. Things that you probably haven't heard, things that I've never said. So let's get into more of this. Let's get into more of this. Thank you for being here. This is a beautiful experience. I would tell you all about it, but I wouldn't be speaking from experience. I'd be speaking from concepts. Because even me trying to put my experience into words, what's a word? It's a label to try to get you to see what I'm seeing. There's a disconnect there. You can never experience what somebody else is experiencing. It's their experience. So why are we putting so much emphasis on what other people are trying to convey as truth and reality? Because it's not. The only reality is what you experience. It's the only way to know, to work from experience. Okay. Much love, you guys. I'm sitting with this a bit. I know this is a deeper conversation. Might be like, whoa, what? But be with it. Start to look at life as something to be experienced, as an experience, not something to be experienced, as an experience. It is an experience. And start looking at all the stuff that's going out there, not as reality, but as other experiences that are also happening. So we can be grounded in our experience to where we don't have to be pulled out of our personal power by everybody else. Because I say this all the time, the world needs more leaders. The world needs more leaders now more than ever. So, damn it, let's lead. All right, guys, thank you for being here. We're off to the races with this podcast. If you would, from the bottom of my heart, leave a rating and review on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know when you do. Take a screenshot, share it on Instagram. We're going to be giving some prizes away and things like that. And I'm telling you, if I'm not the one who returns the favor, which I'm the type of person who I will, let me know that you did something nice for me and I'm going to return the favor. It's just in my energy. Even if it's in a weird, wacky way, because it's the law of reciprocity, right? We must be able to give and to receive. And so I'm asking to receive at this standpoint. And if you help to share the word, to leave a rating and review on iTunes, I promise you that energy is coming back to you. Okay. All right. More to come, you guys. Stay with me. I've got so much planned for you. I've got some amazing guests coming up. And I look forward to growing together, to helping to shift this world, the reality out there, by being in our hearts, by working from experience, by leading with love. Because there's only one of two places to work from: fear, which is where 99% of people are working from, or we can work from love. Love is the only way that you're going to shift that default future for yourself and others. So my friend, I'll leave you with this: lead with love. All right, you guys. See you on the next episode. Talk soon. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Adam Kadu podcast. If you would, take a moment to subscribe and click the bell icon so that way you get notified when future episodes air. Now, here's the thing. If you are looking for the show notes, you can find a link to those below. If you're looking for the handles of the guests that I've been interviewing, things of that nature, you'll find that here. And if there's anything else that stood out to you in the episode, or if there's anything I can do for you, please leave a comment below, or for sure message me on Instagram if you'd like, as I'm always looking to hear what's working well for you and what caught your interest about the Adam Can Do podcast. So, time to go, time to change the world, time to help more people. Are you ready? Let's go do this thing. The world needs more leaders. So thanks again for listening to the Adam Can Do podcast.